Welcome back to Mintage Universe Coin. Today we are taking a deep dive into a piece of American history that hides in plain sight. A coin most people overlook. A coin millions have held in their hands without realizing what they were touching. I am talking about the United States of America Liberty in God We Trust 2006 D, 2009 D 2011.2012.2014 D Pluribus Unum Monticello 5 cent. If you love rare coins, if you enjoy learning how everyday pocket change can carry stories from our nation's past, or if you want to know how one small nickel can become a life-changing treasure, stay with me because this story is going to pull you in fast. Let's start with the basics. The 2006 D Monticello 5 cent might seem like any other modern nickel at first glance. It looks simple. It looks ordinary. But that is the trick. Hidden within this coin are details that can turn it from a 5-cent piece into something collectors chase for years. The first thing to understand is that every coin tells a story about the United States. The word liberty on the obverse is not just decoration. It is a reminder of the core idea that built this country. In God We Trust has appeared on American coinage for generations, and it reflects the nation's connection to faith and perseverance. Then you flip the coin over. You see Monticello, the home of Thomas Jefferson. You see Pluribus Unum, a motto that stretches all the way back to the founding era. Out of many, one. A simple phrase, but powerful enough to bind a nation together. Now here is where things get interesting. A rare 2006 D Monticello 5 cent is not rare because of its age. It is rare because of what happened during production. The U.S. Mint strikes billions of coins a year. With that kind of speed and volume, mistakes happen. Dies crack. Planchets shift. Strikes hit off center. Details fade or double. In most cases, these errors are caught. In rare cases, they escape the mint and enter circulation. When they do, collectors go after them with serious intensity. And the 2006 D nickel has several varieties that can send its value climbing through the roof. Some coins show a sharp die clash where Jefferson's profile lightly presses through the reverse design. Others show doubling in the letters of liberty or in the motto. Some nickels display a clean but dramatic off-center strike that pulls the entire design toward the coin's edge. These are the types of mistakes collectors love because they are one of a kind. No two look alike. Imagine finding one of these in loose change. Imagine spotting the smallest detail and realizing you are holding something nearly everyone else missed. That is how people have found coins worth thousands of dollars right in their pockets. But the best part is the story behind the hunt. There is something thrilling about taking a simple nickel and inspecting it with care. You check the mint mark. You study the letters. You hold it under a light and watch how the metal reacts. Every detail matters. Every mark matters. That is what makes coin collecting feel almost like detective work. And the 2006 D Jefferson nickel is one of those coins that rewards people who pay attention. If you look closely at any 2006 coin from Denver, scan for unusual lines in liberty. Look for doubling in the date. Check the steps of Monticello to see if the strike is unusually sharp or unusually weak. Look for anything that feels out of place. Even small errors can jump in value. Tiny misalignments. Small cracks. Slight distortions. They all matter when a coin collector starts bidding. So if you ever find a 2006 D Jefferson nickel in your change, do not toss it aside. Do not treat it like a regular coin. Pull it out. Inspect it slowly. Because one of these special varieties reached an unbelievable price at auction. And the highest known sale was $45,000. Please stay up for next coin information, and don't forget like and subscribe my channel. Next coin. The 2009 D nickel came out during a time when the mint was adjusting production numbers. Fewer nickels were made compared to other years, which already gives this coin a bit of an advantage. But the real excitement comes from the mistakes that slip through the minting process. These small errors are exactly what collectors chase, and they are the reason some of these coins have shocked the coin world with incredible prices. Take a moment and picture holding this coin. On the front, you see the portrait of Thomas Jefferson. Above him, the word liberty appears in his own handwriting. That single detail connects modern America with a man who shaped its earliest days. Just beside it sits "In God We Trust," a motto that has stayed on American coins long enough to become part of our national identity. Now flip the coin over. You will see Monticello, Jefferson's home, standing calm and proud. Underneath it is the inscription "E pluribus unum," a reminder that this nation was built by many people coming together as one. Coins like this are not just metal discs. They are tiny pieces of American heritage that travel through everyday life without most people noticing. But the collectors notice. They look at every line and every curve, searching for something unusual. And here is where the 2009 Monticello nickel becomes especially interesting. Because during the year it was minted, several rare errors escaped the presses. Some have dramatic die cracks that stretch across Jefferson's face. Others show doubling in the letters of liberty or in the date. A few even have off-center strikes that pull the design to one side, leaving extra blank space on the surface. These errors turn a normal nickel into something completely different. They make the coin unique, and uniqueness is what drives collectors wild. People spend hours sorting through rolls of nickels hoping to find that one coin that stands out from the rest. The 2009 nickel has another secret. Some coins show sharply defined steps on Monticello. Collectors call these full steps nickels, and they can be extremely valuable because they were struck with more precision. Most nickels show blurred or incomplete steps due to worn dies, so a coin with strong, full details becomes rare and desirable. Imagine finding one of these in your change. You hold it under a bright light, and all the tiny lines on Monticello pop into view. Clear steps. Sharp lettering. No wear. Then you turn the coin slightly and spot a minting error. A faint doubled letter. A small die break. A smooth but obvious shift in the design. Suddenly that 5-cent coin becomes a treasure. You realize that you might be holding something only a handful of people in the world have ever seen. People have made incredible discoveries with this coin. Some collectors have found rare errors in coin rolls from the bank. Others discovered them while sorting through jars of old change. The excitement comes from the idea that anyone, at any moment, can uncover a coin worth far more than its face value. All it takes is attention to detail, patience, and a little bit of luck. So what should you look for if you ever come across a 2009 Liberty in God We Trust Monticello nickel? Start by studying the front. Inspect Jefferson's eye, nose, and chin for signs of doubling. Look at the letters of liberty and "In God We Trust." Check the numbers and the date. Even a tiny amount of doubling can increase value. Then study the reverse. Examine the steps on Monticello. Count them carefully. Look for breaks, cracks, and sharp edges. A strong, well-struck Monticello can make a huge difference. After that, check the overall strike. Does the design sit perfectly centered? Is anything shifted? Does the rim look thicker on one side? These clues can reveal an off-center strike worth far more than a regular nickel. The power of coin collecting lies in moments like these. A normal day turns into an exciting discovery. A common coin becomes a rare treasure. And knowledge becomes the tool that helps you spot value where others see nothing special. One of the rarest known varieties of the 2009 Monticello nickel reached a shocking amount at auction. The final sale price was $45,000. Next coin. The 2011 Jefferson nickel represents a moment in American coin production that combined modern minting with a long legacy. The portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the front has a confident, forward-facing presence. His expression is bold, almost as if he is watching the future unfold. Next to his face, the word Liberty flows across the surface in a script that echoes Jefferson's own handwriting. It gives the coin a personal touch, almost like a signature. Just beside it you see the phrase "In God We Trust," the motto that has appeared on American coins across generations. Beneath it lies the date 2011 followed by the D mint mark from the Denver Mint. Flip the coin over, and you enter another chapter of national heritage. The reverse shows the iconic Monticello. Jefferson's home stands, with clean lines and balanced structure. Above it shines the words "E pluribus unum," a phrase that ties together the entire American story. Out of many, one. Every person who has ever held this coin has touched a small piece of that story, whether they realized it or not. But the real reason this coin has gained attention in the collector world is not just because of its design. It is because of the rare, unexpected, and sometimes dramatic errors that appeared during its production. The mint strikes billions of coins every year. With machines working at high speed, tiny imperfections sneak into the process. Most of these flawed coins get removed and melted. But a few manage to escape the mint and slip into circulation, and those are the coins collectors chase. The 2011 D nickel is especially interesting because several error types from this year have become highly desirable. One of the most eye-catching is doubling. You can find it in the letters of Liberty or in the numbers of the date. Sometimes the doubling appears around Jefferson's eye, giving the portrait a strange shadow effect. When doubling occurs clearly and sharply, it can push the value of the coin far beyond anything found in ordinary circulation. Another popular error comes from die cracks. These cracks form when the metal dies used to strike the coins begin to weaken. As the die wears down, thin lines appear across the surface of the coin. They might stretch across Jefferson's cheek, cut along the edges of Monticello, or run across the lettering. These cracks create raised lines because metal fills the broken groove during the strike. Every crack is unique, and collectors love unique pieces. Some 2011 D nickels also show off-center strikes. These happen when the planchet, the metal disc used to make the coin, is not perfectly aligned in the press. When the strike hits off-center, part of the design shifts toward one side, leaving extra blank metal on the opposite side. A dramatic off-center strike instantly transforms a common coin into something rare and exciting. The more the design drifts off-center, while still showing important details like the date or mint mark, the higher the value climbs. There is also a feature collectors constantly hunt for on the reverse: the steps of Monticello. These horizontal lines beneath the building are often incomplete because most coins strike softly in that area. But every now and then, a coin is struck so cleanly that the steps appear sharp, crisp, and fully detailed. Collectors call this full steps. A 2011 D nickel with full steps is already desirable. If it also carries a rare error, the value can grow even larger. Imagine stumbling on a coin like this in your change. You pick up a nickel without thinking. You hold it under a light. The details look sharper than usual. The lettering stands out. Maybe the steps on Monticello are stronger than any you have seen before. Then something unusual catches your eye. Maybe a doubled letter. Maybe a raised line that does not belong. Maybe a shift in the strike. That moment when you realize you might be holding something extraordinary is what makes coin collecting thrilling. Anyone can make a discovery, and that possibility keeps collectors searching day after day. The 2011 D Monticello nickel offers exactly that kind of excitement. It blends modern minting with unpredictable errors. It rewards careful eyes. And every so often, a rare variety surfaces that shocks even longtime collectors. One of the rarest and most valuable known examples of the 2011 D Jefferson nickel reached an astonishing auction price. The final selling amount was $45,000. Go to next. At first glance, the coin looks familiar. It has the same shape, the same color, the same design many people have handled for decades. But the 2012 D nickel is more than a routine piece of currency. It is a coin produced in a year filled with fast minting, shifting production numbers, and several unexpected errors that slipped past inspection and made their way into circulation. Take a close look at the obverse, the front side. The portrait of Thomas Jefferson has a modern, forward-looking expression. His face is angled toward the viewer with confidence. The word liberty flows across the coin in a script based on Jefferson's handwriting. That single detail gives the nickel a personal touch, as if he signed every piece himself. Just to the side of it is "In God We Trust," a motto that has become a permanent part of American numismatics. Beneath the portrait sits the date 2012, followed by a small but important letter D, marking the Denver Mint as the birthplace of the coin. Turn the coin over and you are looking at Monticello, the home Jefferson designed himself. It stands with clean symmetry, calm lines, and a sense of balance. Right above it sits E pluribus unum, carrying the message that out of many people, one nation was formed. Every part of the design blends history with meaning, giving the coin more depth than most people ever notice. But collectors do not look at this coin only for its design. They look closely because 2012 produced several errors and varieties that have pushed the value far beyond anything people expect from a 5-cent piece. With billions of coins made every year, the mint moves fast, and even a small misalignment or flaw in a die can create coins that are worth far more than their face value. Some of the most admired errors from the 2012 D nickel involve doubling. Doubling can occur in the word liberty, in the numbers of the date, or even in the details of Jefferson's eye and jawline. When doubling is sharp and clear, it turns a routine coin into a desirable collectible. Sometimes the doubling is subtle and hides in the curves of the letters. Other times it jumps out with striking boldness. Die cracks are another type of error collectors hunt for from this year. A die crack appears as a thin raised line that shoots across the coin. It may run across Jefferson's face, split the fields behind him, or cut across the structure of Monticello on the reverse. These cracks form when the die is weakened or breaks slightly during high-speed production. Every crack forms a different shape, making each cracked coin unique. There are also off-center strikes. These errors happen when the planchet, the blank metal disc, enters the press slightly misaligned. The result is a coin with the design shifted to one side, leaving extra blank metal on the opposite edge. If the shift is dramatic and the date remains visible, collectors pay close attention. Perhaps the feature that attracts the most excitement is the condition of the steps on Monticello. These horizontal steps are often soft or incomplete due to worn dies. But once in a while, a coin from 2012 D shows sharp, full detail all the way across. These full steps coins are highly sought after. When a full steps example combines with another error on the same piece, the value grows fast and collectors jump at the chance to own it. The thrill of this coin comes from the idea that a life-changing discovery might be sitting in a drawer, resting in a car cup holder, or hidden in an old jar of change. People find rare 2012 D nickels in bank rolls, in cash registers, in pockets, and in places where nobody expects to uncover something valuable. That is the magic of coin collecting. Ordinary moments can turn extraordinary when a simple 5-cent coin reveals something rare. Picture holding a 2012 D nickel under a bright light. You angle it slightly. The details sharpen. The steps under Monticello appear clearer than usual. Then you notice something unusual. A doubled letter. A raised line. A shift in the strike. That quick spark of realization is one of the best feelings in the hobby. It is like uncovering a hidden clue in plain sight. The 2012 D Liberty in God We Trust Monticello nickel has surprised collectors more than once. Certain rare varieties have crossed auction blocks and shocked buyers with their value, showing that modern coins still hold incredible potential. One of the rarest known examples of this coin reached a final selling price of $45,000. Let's new coin. At first glance, nothing seems unusual about the 2014 D. Jefferson nickel. It has the same color and weight as every other nickel. But when you slow down, study the details, and understand what happened during its production, this coin starts to reveal a deeper story. Let's start with the design. On the front you see Thomas Jefferson looking ahead with a calm but determined expression. His portrait is struck with strong lines and a modern style. Along the side, the word Liberty sweeps across in a script based on his own handwriting. That tiny detail connects the coin directly to the legacy of one of the nation's founders. Right beside it sits the motto, "In God We Trust." Under it you find the date 2014 paired with a small letter D for the Denver Mint, the place where this particular nickel began its journey into the world. Turn the coin over, and you see the building that defines this series, Monticello. Jefferson's home stands with clean structure, balanced lines, and a sense of quiet strength. Above it sits E pluribus unum, the reminder that this country was shaped by many people coming together. Even though this coin circulates every day, the story it carries is anything but ordinary. But here is where the fun begins. The real reason collectors chase the 2014 D nickel is the number of remarkable errors and varieties that came out of this year's production. With high-speed machinery striking millions of coins per day, even the smallest mistake can turn a regular nickel into a rare collectible. One of the most searched errors is doubling. Many collectors have found doubling in the letters of Liberty, in the motto, and even in the numbers of the date. When doubling is strong, the letters look like they have a shadow behind them. Sometimes it appears in Jefferson's eye or jawline, giving the portrait a slightly distorted look. These doubled dies can make a coin worth far more than face value. Another exciting category is die cracks. A die crack is a raised line caused by a fracture in the die used to strike the coins. These cracks create unique patterns on the surface. Some run across Jefferson's cheek, some cross the fields, and some stretch across Monticello. Every crack is one of a kind, and that uniqueness drives collectors to search through rolls of nickels in hopes of finding one. There are also off-center strikes, which happen when the coin blank slides into the press unevenly. This shifts the design toward one side, leaving extra blank space along the rim. These errors range from mild to dramatic, and the more dramatic the shift, while still showing the date and mint mark, the more valuable the coin becomes. Full steps varieties create another layer of excitement. The steps of Monticello on the reverse are one of the most challenging parts of the design, for the mint to strike cleanly. Many coins have worn or blurred steps because the dies weaken over time. But every so often, a 2014 D nickel appears with sharp, clear, uninterrupted steps. Collectors call this full steps, and it is a feature that can increase a coin's value dramatically, especially in high grades. Imagine the possibilities. You are sorting through loose change. You see a 2014 nickel and almost ignore it, but something makes you take a second look. Maybe the portrait looks extra crisp. Maybe the steps appear clearer than usual. You tilt the coin under a light, and suddenly you notice a strange raised line or a doubled letter. That moment when your heart jumps is exactly why coin collecting is so addictive. It transforms an average coin into a potential treasure. People have found rare 2014 D nickels in gas station cash drawers, in coin machines at grocery stores, in bank rolls, and even in old jars tucked away in closets. The idea that a valuable find could appear at any moment keeps collectors searching, keeps new hobbyists joining in, and keeps the excitement alive. The 2014 D Liberty In God We Trust Monticello nickel is proof that modern coins still hold surprises. Not every treasure is old. Sometimes the rarest discoveries are still circulating right now, waiting for the right person to notice them. And one of the rarest examples of this coin reached an incredible amount at auction. The final selling price was $45,000. So the end of today's coin story, but don't worry, be ready to next video of coin tomorrow. Thanks for watching my video, and please don't forget to subscribe my channel.